What is up guys, it's your boy Solheim here, back with another World of Warcraft video for the War Within, and today we're talking about an insane way to make gold so low. You don't need the group for this, you don't even have to be max level, even though it does help out. You can do this pretty much as any class as well. Now obviously, the better gear you have, the better this will be, but mobs are scaling to your level and to your gear, so you can do this pretty much with a very low setup. I will say, it's a tailoring farm, you also maybe want to have inscription for Dark Moon cards, even though the value that adds is very low compared to tailoring. So for example, the Vivacity cards and Radiance and all of these cards, they're 20 to 30 gold each, meanwhile tailoring is adding a lot of gold from Dawnweave, Duskweave, and even regular Weavercloth bolts and those items as well. So, before we start, I want to do a shout out here to the YouTube channel that I found this from, which is Brug. I hope I said that correctly. There's going to be a link down below, and I've tested this myself. I want to come with some additional output to the video and talk more about how to make this even better for you as well in this video. So as you can see in the top left corner, we have tested this method for 11 minutes so far, and we made 13,000 gold. Now, we can test it for longer, but we're doing a dungeon here, and you hit the lookout very fast. There are two things to do when you hit the lookout. You can either repeat this on a different character on a different server, or you can start pulling the second room. So let's talk about the farm. Let's get into everything about the farm, the setup, what we're doing. So first of all, we are doing a follower dungeon, and we're doing Dark Flame Cleft. I will have some footage of me doing the dungeon as well in a little bit, but first of all, let's just go through everything. We're doing follower dungeons for Dark Flame Cleft, and as you can see, this is a level 70 to 80 dungeon, so you can do this while leveling if you want to, so you can make a lot of gold and level a character at the same time. The only thing is, once again, we are using professions here, so for inscription you want to have as many knowledge points as possible to unlock as many of these as possible to get more gold, because every 15 bonus here gives you a 50% chance to find Dark Moon cards, so 50% here, 50% here, 50% here, and the final 50% from here, for a total of 200% more cards than you otherwise would get. Now that is not a necessity, it adds a little bit of gold per hour of course, but you don't need that. But for tailoring, you really want to have 90 knowledge points, and for that you want to spend 30 of them here to increase the quantity of the cloth you find from humanoids, because as you can see here, every point spent increases it by 1%, and you also get benefits throughout here for even more percentages, and you will find 100% more cloth when you max this one out. You also want to have quality fabric. For this one you will learn to find quality 2 cloth here and quality 3 at the final node. Now after that you also want to have 30 points in from dawn until dusk to find both Dawnweave and Duskweave. Now if you can't get to 90 points, then you can just do, for example, 30 points here, 30 points here, and 0 points here, because having 0 will allow you to choose either Dawnweave or Duskweave. At the moment, Duskweave is worth way more than Dawnweave, so go for Duskweave then, but you ideally want to have 90 points. But you can start doing this at about 75% of the efficiency by only spending 60 points. So on any new character, getting 60 points should be very easily doable, and you can then farm this while leveling. If you have an alt, for example, level 70, grab tailoring, spend 60 points, and start farming, level up and get gold at the same time. Alright, so in the background right now, you can see me doing this farm, and we're going to put this to 2 times speed to show you how fast this is, and to get you more than just one clear, so you can see as much as possible in as little time as possible. Now, for the first couple of clears here, we are only clearing out the main room, and once again, what we're doing here is queuing up for Dark Flame Cleft, and we're clearing the first room, then we leave and queue up over again. That is the entire farm, by the way. You can stop there, so just once again, queue up, clear this room, go back out, queue up, clear the room, go back out, and do this over again. And you can see the loot appraiser in the top left right now on the values that I'm getting. So far we have made 4,700 in 2 minutes, and this will be RNG based on the cloth you loot and what type of cloth it is. If you get Dawnweave and Duskweave, that will be worth way more, and the average gold per hour at the moment seems to be about 100,000 gold. Once again, that will depend on how quickly you can clear out the room, which is based on the class you play and the gear you have. So if you're a brand new level 70, you don't have any gear at all, clearing the room might be more difficult for you, but the NPCs actually do smack, like they hit really hard. So even if you are a very undergeared character, the NPCs will really help you out here and deal a lot of the damage. You can even pull the mobs and go AFK if you want to. That will hurt your gold per hour though, but it's just to prove a point that you don't need any gear to do this. The NPCs will clear the dungeon for you if you want them to. Now, if you ever hit a lockout, or you are close to hitting lockouts, which I'm doing right now, then you can go ahead and pull the second room. And over here you have a bunch more mobs to pull as well, so we're going to do this in 2 pulls. You can do it in 1 depending on your class, your gear and stuff like that, but this room can be hectic, by the way. If you pull the entire room, then it can be very hectic, there's a lot of damage going on, but if you ever hit lockout and you want to keep farming this as much as you can on 1 character, pulling the second room is an absolute game changer, because that will double your lockout time. Instead of spending 1 minute per lockout, you're now spending 2 minutes per lockout, and as you can see, these mobs are also humanoids. Well, most of them anyway. There are some beasts here, but for the most part they are humanoids, and that means you can loot more cloth from the second room as well. Now, I believe if you are a big boy, you can actually pull both rooms in 1 pull, but I haven't tried that myself. I'm just doing 2 pulls, so we clear the first room, we try to save some cooldowns for the second room, because the second room is the heaviest hitting room. There's way more elites here, they have more health, so we're trying to save Touch of Karma, for example, for that room. Basically, there's more going on in room number 2, so save your cooldowns for room number 2 if you're doing that room. Now, you don't even have to do that room, by the way, that is just something I choose to do, but lockouts are realm specific, so you can just do the first room on character number 1 and then swap to a different character on a different server, and you will have 10 brand new lockouts that you can do as well. And by doing this, you make a lot of gold in a very short time. As you can see, we have made 9,700 gold in about 7 minutes, which should be, give or take, about 100k per hour, especially after looting these mobs. So we now have 10,000 gold in 7 minutes, so that's like 90,000 gold per hour, and it's once again solo. Now, something you might notice me doing here is that after every single lockout, when I'm queuing up again, we are using a macro, which I'll be leaving a link to down below, and when pressing that macro, we are also jumping. The reason for that is that if you don't jump, when you leave the group, you will be teleported out. That will be another loading screen, which really hurts your gold per hour, so we're skipping a loading screen by queuing up for Dark Flame Cleft over again after leaving. So we have a script or a macro that will leave the group, queue up for Dark Flame Crest, and then we jump, so we don't get teleported out. And then we accept the brand new queue from inside the dungeon, so we only have 1 queue, or 1 loading screen. And skipping that loading screen, depending on the PC you have and the graphics you run and stuff like that, you can save like 10 seconds per lockout, which might not be much, but I'm doing 1 minute lockouts right now, even less than a minute sometimes, so that is like saving 15% of a run, or 15% efficiency, which is not bad. So once again, just to give a TLDR for what we're doing a follower dungeon solo, which you can do at level 70, level 75, level 80. The level doesn't matter between level 70 and 80, and therefore you can do this while leveling up a character. You want to have at least tailoring, preferably tailoring plus inscription, and then you just go in, pull the first 1 or 2 rooms, that is a personal decision. You can do the first room, you will get locked out faster, or you can do both rooms and get locked out later. It just depends on how many different characters you want to do the farm on. So for me, once again, I'm planning on doing both rooms, but for now we're just doing 1 room over again, because it's just way too fast. And yeah, the first room is way fast and usually drops more cloth than room number 2 anyway, so for efficiency you maybe just want to focus on the first room and have multiple characters set up for this, once again on different servers. Now, for those of you who want a visual example of what that script or macro looks like, this is it. I will leave that in the description of the video, so you can check it out there as well. So there it is, that's basically the video. It's pretty simple. Once again, just grab tailoring, grab inscription, or even engineering to get those piles of scrap as well. Just grab professions that you would usually have when doing humanoid farms, spec into it correctly. Like, once again, my spec is like this. So for tailoring, we have 30 points here, and then we have 30 points points here, and then we have 30 points here. You can just do 0 points here, by the way, and then choose Duskweave, and you can farm at roughly 75% efficiency of anyone else. So you can set this up very easily. Now, you already saw the gold per hour from me having Loot Appraiser open while doing this farm, but in my bags right now you will have 10 lockouts worth of loot. So we can take a look at this. We have 9 rank 3 Duskweave, we have 10 rank 1 Duskweave, which is 74 gold each, these are 120, we have 21 rank 2 Weavercloth bolts, which is worth 90 gold each. We have 6 rank 2 Dawnweave, we have 16 rank 1 Weavercloth, and just a bunch of cloth as you can see. We also got a bunch of Darkmoon cards, but once again we are fully specced out in Darkmoon cards, which most of you probably won't be if you haven't set up a cloth farming character plus a card farming character since day 1. Like, I've been doing this character since day 1 and pretty much keeping up with it as well since day 1, so we have a lot of points. Either way, that's the video. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below, and if you try it out, let me know the gold per hour you are getting. I would love to hear some comments from people that are leveling up characters and doing this as well, so level 70s to 79s, doing this with tailoring to make gold while leveling. What are the numbers you are getting? Because once again, everything we are looting here, like my gold per hour, is the EU gold per hour. There's no servers involved here, everything is on the region-wide auction house, so EU is looking pretty good right now, and I hear that North America has even more insane prices. So go and test it out. Once again, it's super simple. You just click the macro, you queue up and let the followers do their work, or if you have a pumping character, you can pump yourself. Now, if you want to have access to more gold making information, or even early access to content from me personally, then check out my War Within Goldmaking Guide, the link will be down below, where we have a lot more gold making information. We talk about professions, how to spend knowledge points, how to spend concentration to make gold that way. We have solo gold farms, group gold farms, and it's just a guide that I've made for gold making, and I'm trying to share every single way to make gold, as many different ways as possible, both farming, crafting, flipping, you name it. My goal here is to help you guys make as much gold as possible in the War Within, and that is why I make content as well. That is the reason behind the guide, that is the reason behind my videos. I would not make these videos if I didn't want to be helpful. If I just wanted to make gold myself, I would just keep farming and not talk about anything that I'm doing. So hopefully my videos or the guide is helpful in some way, shape or form. And one more thing about the guide: when you buy the guide, you get updates throughout the entire expansion sent to you for free. Basically, every update made to this guide will be sent to you to your email for free, so it's a one-time purchase, and you get Patreon level service for a one-time purchase. You also get access to a closed Discord community for gold making, where people are talking about flipping, crafting and farming as well, which is a very good place to be for gold making, if I can say so myself. Or you can just click on the link and read the reviews on the guide itself. Either way, that's the video. So once again, thank you for watching, I really do appreciate it, and thank you so much, by the way, for the support since the launch of the War Within. It really means a lot to me, and yeah, that's it. Thank you very much, I really do appreciate it, and thank you for watching. I'll see you again in the next video very soon. Bye bye now.